Hey guys, so no one wants a video of their self on the internet with this beautifulness happening on their face, but I'm doing this in the spirit of helping you because, we all have videos of like foundation routines. We can Google them and there's women with perfect skin doing foundation, so you don't really get a sense of how to troubleshoot and how to do things. Then when you found yourself in situations like I found myself in yesterday, where it was my 9th anniversary, I looked like this. It was actually worse yesterday because I slept with a spot on it. I looked like this. I had to feel pretty, go out to dinner with my husband, and look like I felt confident. So I wanted to create this video for you guys to show you how to address things like this when you do your foundation. So if you want to see how I look like a normal person when I really have this going on, just keep watching. So I think skincare prep is super important. I'm going to run through my skincare prep kind of quick, but I'm going to start off with the brightening multivitamin treatment. This is super potent, so I want it to be the first thing on my skin, so it's most effective since it's a treatment. So I do that first. Every day I also do anti-wrinkle treatment, and I just do this mainly under my eyes since my eyes are so deep set, to kind of relax and moisturize everything in that area and help fill in my fine lines and wrinkles. So I focus it on the outside of my eyes, and then I do just a little bit around my mouth, do a little bit right here. Some people do their forehead, but I don't have too much of a problem there. And then I am going to do daytime moisturizer. I use the Oily to Acne formula for obvious reasons. Just like this, and I rub that in. And then the final thing I do before I apply my foundation is I use Silk Pore and Wrinkle Minimizer. This stuff helps my skin look smooth for application, and I just use this in areas where I have larger pores, and I use about half a pump. So of course my nose, this area right here, and my chin. So, and I don't seriously rub this in, I just smooth it out like this. So that's how I prep my skin. Skincare prep is super important because you want to have a great foundation for your foundation. Okay, so this isn't something I would typically do on an everyday basis, but I want extra coverage over my hormonal zits I have happening right now. So I'm gonna zoom in nice and close so you can see. So this is our natural translucent powder that I'm using. I hope I'm focused. And I have taken it apart. See how there's quite a bit in there. I'm just going to grab that and put the powder on my really bad zits. This powder will just help those areas really grab onto the concealer that I'm going to put on them. So just like this. So typically I would do foundation and then do concealer. Since these are so bad, I'm going to start with concealer, then do foundation, then touch up with concealer. I'm going to do it in that order. This redness, spots like this, are really an ideal situation to use green concealer, but I want to keep things simple and streamlined for you guys, and I want to show you how effective and awesome our light concealer is. So that's what I'll be using. So I'm just going to take, you can see I'm not using a lot, a little bit of light concealer, and I'm just going to use my finger and dab this on the effective areas. Dab, technical term. So, and you can see I'm putting plenty of product on there. Because there's a lot of stuff we want to cover. But I did this exact same routine yesterday and I felt great at dinner, and I was actually surprised how subtle my breakout was, even though it's actually pretty bad right now. And I still have leftover lip color on my lips from yesterday because I didn't remove it last night. So, and you can see I'm not like rubbing it in. I am literally just putting it on the affected area and stippling it. Sorry about that, guys. We got interrupted by my 4-year-old. So just showing you really quickly, I'm also going to run over the concealer. The corners of my nose are always red, so I'm going to put it there. And then you can see there's a few very, very tiny zits in this area. Yes, baby?
Can you have donkey?
Not right now. Maybe later.
What's that one, donkey?
No candy right now, baby.
What's that one?
Another 4-year-old interruption. So I have the light concealer on. I don't rush to put my foundation on because I really want this to dry and set. I use our Dewy Make Sense foundation. This is an oil-free foundation, and I prefer this formula just because I do the skincare prep. We do have an advanced anti-aging that has more anti-aging ingredients, but it's not as water resistant and it doesn't wear as well. In the summer, in the heat, I just like having a foundation that stays in place, and I just love the finish of this one. So I use Dewy Make Sense foundation. It's really easy. I use one pump and just kind of put it all over my skin like that. Okay, so then I take my foundation brush and stipple. This is a Tarte Airbrush Kabuki brush, but first I use a stippling motion when I'm applying my foundation, and that is to give me coverage while kind of spreading the product all over my face. And then I will go back and use a buffing motion to really blend in everything. Just like this. So, and you can see that makes everything nice and even. This is like my favorite foundation ever, but it evens out everything for me. Okay, so now I am switching back to the light concealer. Like I said, usually I would just do my foundation and then do concealer really quickly, but I wanted extra coverage on that area. So I'm going to take the light concealer, and now I'm going to use a brush so I can get finer application. And first I'm going to do under my eyes. If you really want to brighten up your under eye area, mix this with white concealer. And you can see I'm not just doing the area under my eye. I'm focusing kind of on this whole area so that I don't just have these light circles under my eyes. And giving me a little bit of a wake me up. So we will do the other side now. And this brush, I like dense fluffy brushes when I'm dealing with creamy cosmetics, which most Synergence cosmetics are. This brush I actually got as a Christmas gift a few years ago. My husband got it for me. And I would say, gosh, I got it about 5 years ago. And this is from Sephora, but this is an airbrush brush. That's all I know. It says airbrush concealer brush. I don't even know if it's still sold, but there's a lot of similar stuff on the market. Just get something dense and fluffy. So then I'm going to take this and just barely go over where I've already covered with concealer before doing my foundation, and using that stippling motion just like that. So as you can see, the light concealer with the Dewy Make Sense foundation gave me a blank palette. I'm now ready to go ahead and do my foundation. The only other thing that I would really recommend having in your toolkit as far as having a blank palette is Candlelight Shadow Sense. And just so you can see the blue little capillaries on my eyes and the discoloration. If I use Candlelight Shadow Sense, you can just use a little teeny dot on each of your eyes as a base. This also works great as a concealer. You can just use your fingers and rub that in, and you'll have a nice even base to work off of on your eyes as well. So just like that. So that gives you a blank palette to work off of. You can do any look once you have this to work off of. Foundation is the foundation of your beauty routine. I would say it's absolutely necessary. It just evens out everything. You can see I don't look like I have a lot of foundation on my skin, but everything's just even, and it gives you a nice blank palette to create your own artwork off of. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Hope this helps. Bye.